Starting with number 11. Bert's Burger Barn sold 495 burgers today. The number sold with cheese was half the number sold without. How many of each type was sold? So if you draw a chart, you can do it this way, it's up to you. But if you draw a chart with cheese or plain, you can kind of extrapolate some information. Ethan, what do you know about cheese versus plain? So cheese was half of plain. So if I call P plain, cheese is 1/2 plain. Would that be right? Is there another way you could indicate this relationship? Maybe call cheese cheese and call plain double cheese? Do both of these things reflect the same information? So either way works. I don't care what way you like to do it. I usually like to work in whole numbers. So this is probably how I would think of it. But quite honestly, this is how it's written. So if that's how you dissect it, that's fine. So the sum of cheeseburgers added to regular burgers is equal to the grand total number of burgers, which was what, 495? So 3/2 P equals 495. Where did I come up with 3/2? I just added them. Yep. Can't divide by a fraction, so I'll multiply by the reciprocal. Is 495 divisible by 3? Yes, it sure is. 165? So 165, well, that's the answer. What's 3 into 495? 165. So P is equal to 165. That's the number of plain burgers. With cheese. That's the number. Well, that's weird. How am I coming up with this? If I said plain was P, half the number sold without cheese. And I'm coming up with this as being, yes sir, as being plain.
Multiply it by 2?
Well, yeah, if I double it,
You forgot to multiply by 2.
then I get cheese. 3.
No, without cheese. When you did your equation, you didn't multiply by 2. Go down. You swapped it plain, you didn't multiply by 2. You didn't finish the equation.
By 2, yep, 330. You're right. Multiply by 2. There it is, 165 times 2. Thank you. I'm like, what did I do wrong here? So when I reduced it, boom, boom, double it. The number of plain burgers is 330, or the number of plain is 330. Gee, many crickets, times 2. Thank you. Reduce times 2. And the number with cheese is half of that. Phew!
That was a hedge fund.
A little bit. 13. Brian has $88 in his savings account. So currently he has 88. If he saves $350 per week, how long will it take him to have $200? So he has 88. He wants $200. And he plans on saving $350 every week. How can I turn that into an equation? Yep. savings per week. If he has this and I add to it $350 every week, boom, boom. How long will it take me to get here? So first we're going to subtract 88. And that gives us 350W. And then we're going to divide 112 by 350. And that tells us 32. In other words, 32 weeks saving that amount will then get him up to here. That's 13, 15. The perimeter of a rectangle is 332. They also tell me the width is 76. They want to know what its length is. So let's sketch it out. I'm going to see if you guys see what I see. Its width is 76, right? And we don't know what its length is. Am I right? How will I set that up into an equation to solve for length? Yep. So 152 plus what? Equals? Good. Very good. You know, if you cut this perimeter in half, and you only solve for half of it, you can do it this way. 166 equals 76 plus L. So what I did here is I took a side plus the other side is half the perimeter. So sometimes numerically that makes it really, really easy to do. If you're able to visualize that when you cut it in half, you've got half of the perimeter made up of the 76 and the L. Either way, you're going to come up with the same answer. According to the shortened version, I'm having a length of 90. Let's see if I'm right over here. Subtracting gives me 180. Length equals 90. Yay! So whichever way you like to do it, whenever I'm faced with this kind of situation, if I could quickly cut the perimeter in half, that eliminates my need to divide by 2. 3 more. 17, 19, and 21. In an isosceles triangle, so an isosceles triangle, 2 sides are equal. In an isosceles triangle, there are 2 sides called legs with the same length. Okay. And the bottom, or the other side, is called the base. If it has a perimeter of 345, and the base is equal to 85, what is the length of the legs? You can't use that trick that I just used a second ago. So leg plus base is 345. Right? Easy. Legs plus base equals 345. Subtract out, and you end up with 260. Divide by 2, and each leg, if we did our arithmetic correctly, is 130. Number 19. Rectangles again. The length of a rectangle is 7 centimeters more than its width. So how will I relate one to the other with that piece of information? Go ahead. Yep. The length is 7 centimeters more than its width. Use W to represent width. Because it's 7 centimeters bigger, W plus 7. The perimeter is 78. Find the rectangle's dimensions. Yes, ma'am. Excellent. So I'm mixing two problems. 15. The width of the, so 19 says, the width of the rectangle is 15 centimeters less than the length. The width is 15 centimeters less than the length. How about that? The perimeter is 98. Do I have it right now? Since I mixed 18 and 19 together? I think so. So that means L plus L plus L minus 15 plus L minus 15. Look at it again since I confused everybody. 19 says the width of a rectangle is 15 centimeters less than the length. There's the length. There's the length 15 smaller representing the width. The perimeter is 98. Find the dimensions. So all of these sides added together give you the perimeter of 98. Looks like it's 4L minus 30. Where am I getting 4L minus 30? Where did I come up with 4L minus 30? Yep. Added them all together. Add 30 to each side. Divide by 4. So if the length is 32, what's the width? How will I get the width? Subtract 15, what do you get? 17 would be better. All right, last one. Same exact kind of problem for 21. A rectangle's length is 8 centimeters more than 3 times its width. A rectangle's length is 8 centimeters more than triple the width. A rectangle's length is 8 centimeters more than triple the width. There's width. There's the representation of the length based on that information. And the perimeter is 128. Find the dimensions. Same thing what we just did. 3, 4, 3, 6, 7, 8. So 8W plus 16. Because if the bottom is 3W plus 8, then the top is 3W plus 8. If the right is W, then the left is W. Subtract 16. You should get what, 112? 8W equals 112. 14. So if the width is 14, what's the length? Yep. Very good. Okay, folks, that takes you all the way up to number 22. Good luck.